every year so far for Brickworld, I have built a Fallout mock of some sort, getting a little bit bigger and probably a little bit better too, going to this year, and it's going to be my biggest one yet, and biggest mock that I'm bringing piecewise count maybe. Actually, size-wise, I feel like the mascots are, it's like 1,000-something pieces, but I'm participating in a Fallout collab. So taking a 2 base plate chunk here, and in the back there, it's a little bit more elevated, flattens out, and it'll be part of a city block on Main Street, I believe. So I'm probably going to build a goods or just general trading building, maybe with a bar on it too, kind of like Good Springs. I had a really fun idea for a scene that I wanted to do with 2 people fighting over a Nuka-Cola. So I'll have the Nuka-Cola machine, maybe a refrigerator. So I have my crates for different drinks since it is going to be based in California. I have Sunset Sarsaparilla as well as Nuka-Cola. I have a couple different custom options. We have the Brick Tactical ones right there, but I also have the K-Town Bricks one. So these are kind of the main builds and the progress I have on day one. Just wanted to show off how it looks when you start. And having the terrain basically all filled, I'm going to put more like bushes and stuff down when I actually get to the convention so they don't just get knocked off in the box as I travel. Didn't have to fill in the whole area since I did also build a building to put on top of this, but this is a 2 base plate build, and I believe the collab is going to be like 7 by 15 of these, so it's going to be huge. Definitely going to want to check it out, hopefully, if in person if you're at Brickworld, or I'll do a pretty good job documenting all of it. But probably one of the biggest mocks I've ever built just in terms of bricks, since I had to start one corner from 3 bricks above the mills plate, and then the other corner is at 5. So just had to use all the random parts that I had, pretty much use my whole collection. Let's check out the building as well, which is a generic bar based off of the Prospector Saloon from Fallout New Vegas. You got the Citizen Brick custom rust plate on the top there in this roof section, which is pretty similar to the roof I did on my first Fallout mock a couple years ago. And I think it's just fun to create kind of a layered effect here, like it's just piled on scrap metal, which was the effect I was going for. The sort of patio, I guess you would call it, I used all these printed wood planks by Lego with some varying depths on that, again, to give it more layering. And when I actually get it to the display, I'm going to go through and kind of press down on some of these a little bit to just give them, again, a more off-kilter design where they're tilted and aren't even. I did make it so the door opens. It's going to be a little tough from this side, but there's also going to be a light on the inside, so I'll have the door open. Taking from the Prospector Saloon, again, having some crates in the front window. Got some boarded up windows right there with one of them broken and missing. The other one's covered with newspapers, which is another technique I used for my last Fallout mock as well, since I really like the Stranger Things sort of newspaper print that they have. I think that turned out to be a really great decorated Lego part. And as another fun little scene, I'll have this guy also featured in my last Fallout box. This would be a prequel, I guess, to that one. He'll be at the bar, got his bottle of alcohol, and I'll just have him throwing up on the terrain of the actual main build. So that'll be fun. That's always what I'm trying to do. A little bit of Easter eggs here, a little bit of story. The bar, it sort of has like circus lights on it, because I feel like in Fallout 76 and some of those world builder scenarios, you glam stuff up with weird lights. Getting to the side of the building, again, just to make it less monotonous. I didn't want to just stack bricks. We have like a little bit of ivy. There are some cracks in the wall here that I covered up with some metal just to make it seem like they tried to repair it. So there are cracks on both corners, which was fun to kind of figure out how to get that built in there with the different slope bricks and tiles. Again, I'm just trying to build it in the world. Like they would try and fix those holes. And it's unfortunate, it kind of covers up that detailing, but it is what it is. You know, I'm going to build more bushes. Again, I used the same sort of build in my Fallout mock last year, as well as my build for the Nuka-Cola fridge. Again, with a light up feature, I'll just pop that on quick. And I need to change the battery out. It's going to be a little bit dim, but we got a Nuka-Cola Quantum in there, so I wanted to make sure it was glowing. Porch light in the back just to light up this area too, since there will also be another event going on there. Crate with more just normal Nuka-Colas. Continuing to just spin around the build. More cracks with some hasty repairs. Another bush, more cracks, more plant life. So that is just the main outside area. I think I don't have an interior right now, but I might have to since I lit up the inside. I'll probably just throw in a bar, maybe some stools, just to give it something when you can see through the doorway. But for a build like this, again, when you are building a building, you want to make sure you're adding different textures, different layers of parts in some way, whether it is just putting on a snot brick with some tiles on the wall to just create any amount of texture. It goes a long way to make it seem a little bit more thought out. I did something cool with the roof as well, where I, again, based it off of the saloon in the game, where it has these wood supports. And for a build like this, I usually try and make it modular. So I got the roof with some, again, more story. We have a barrel of gasoline, cap stash for the wastelanders traveling around, and the same chest for my last mock, which just has a mini nuke and some different chem stuff in there, some junk. So that just, like a modular building, presses down. A little hard to do it with the camera in front of me, but I just added this fence on the top there just to give it kind of the facade look that Western buildings have. And I just wanted to make it seem a little bit taller, and I have another bit of story with the ladder here. You'd fold it down. There's a lock at the top there with I have the printed part I'll throw on there, but in theory a padlock so the people can climb up, get to their stuff, and it prevents just random people from stealing from them. Putting everything together, the building lies on top of the plates and it looks pretty seamless. You can't really tell that it isn't pressed down for the most part. Looking at it for the back here, I guess I gotta fill in the gap there. Honestly, with the Nuka Claw machine here, that was the sort of scene that I built this up around and really wanted. I had the idea if I threw in a raider over on one side, then had a vault dweller of some sort. Yeah, this is one of the more fun Easter eggs, is that he's wearing the Mad Max suit here, which would be the leather armor from the first couple games. He's got a Pip-Boy on, so I figured, one downside of the Citizen Brick figure with the shoulder pad is that it falls off pretty easily, especially with a crazy arm on. But the Vault Dweller would be in that and would be fighting the Raider over the Nuka-Cola Quantum in the fridge. Try and make it work. Unfortunately, I don't have the Dr. Phosphorus minifigure. That would be really great for the scene to give him like the glowing green arm like in that. But what I have here, just a little battle just to fill in the wasteland, I feel like is pretty good. As well as at the front here, where I already kind of described that one. So that is the best part about building these mocks, is just freestyling, adding a little bit of flavor, a little bit of character interactions, just to fill in the world a little bit more. I'm going to go over this in a separate video, but I also built some creatures for the wasteland. And specifically for this build, I built a rad scorpion just to hang out in the desert. It's missing a set of legs on both sides where it should have 4, but I used the video game controllers for the claws, and I feel like that shaping works pretty well, and the tail is pretty posable with all sorts of different joints to get into battle stance. And this is my little slice of part for the convention. I did build one more building though, and that would just be a generic Brotherhood of Steel bunker, which is still basically copied piece for piece, or design by design, from the first game. Have a Brotherhood of Steel member right here in a T60 armor, which is technically inaccurate. I also have a T51 power armor set that I should paint up to also have standing guard. I have the door open right now, so I don't have like a Brotherhood of Steel insignia on there. You can see right there, the corners are just kind of loose and positioned where they are. Basic texturing around, but again, adding varying levels of tiles and plates just to make it a little bit more interesting. And even having like printed vent pieces at the top, which might not be accurate to the game, but adds a little bit more interesting detailing for this. Moving these out of the way. I'm trying to roadway. Yeah, there. Moving outwards. The roof is also going to be removable, so that is always something you want to try and do for your builds, to get access to an interior or even build an interior. Oops, yeah. Those corners are, you got to remove them a little bit. Again, just reusing some of my assets I already designed for the Fallout world. Got my weapons bench build there. And just on the other side, I have just some of the Citizen Brick supercomputer parts. And one of my favorite parts usage is the collectible minifigure space series. The like robot cyborg guy's torso is perfect for a terminal in the Fallout world. So got that piece being used again here in the build. And really the only thing that should be in the bunker is the elevator. I have it there with the metallic silver tiles, which matches the doors since they should both be probably the same metal. Very happy with how this turned out, and I'll just be tossing this somewhere in our wasteland area just to fill in the space in the wasteland a little bit more. Not the strongest build, but accuracy-wise, I feel like I did a pretty good job, and I'm just glad to help out. And you don't want to miss out the rest of the stuff I'll do for this Fallout mock, kind of covering how it gets put together, and I'll even eventually do a video for other creatures I built for it. I got the gecko, centaur, and a deathclaw based on the first couple games. Really excited to see the whole build together. Definitely want to stick around for that. If you want to see more LEGO Fallout mocks or LEGO Fallout content overall, check out all the videos on my channel. If you want to support the channel even further, feel free to join as a member. You have access to early videos as well as any other random content I put out there for members. Or if you just want to help me out, I'd really appreciate it. I have been Brickworld, and I'll see you in the next video.